Hey guys, welcome back into the kitchen for another Jake Bakes. I am joined today by my loveliest of friends, Mr. Joey Franks.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the kitchen. Now, I know you're always super busy. You've got your dodgeball, you've got everything else going on. So I wanted to make something for you that's gonna be really quick and easy for you to take and go. We're making breakfast scones.
Perfect. I don't ever eat breakfast. If I can do this ahead of time, pack it up, ready to go, just grab, that's perfect.
You can. It's like a breakfast sandwich in a scone that's ready to go, because the sandwiches are hard. They're very, very hard.
It's not an easy thing to do.
Well guys, I can't wait to make this with you, so let's get in the kitchen and let's get baking. All right, so Joey, I've got all of our ingredients laid out. We've got some bacon, which I'm gonna start crumbling now. So if you wanna hand me the bacon, sure. You can cook it in its regular strips, or you can just cut it up. I prefer to cut it up into smaller pieces, just so that way later when we add it in, I don't have to crumble it with all my hands. I've got 2 cups of flour here, to which we're going to add a tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, because the bacon's very salty as it is, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 3/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And then there's a spatula right here. I'll have you just mix that up a little bit.
Mixy, mix.
Mixy, mixy. And I've got, that's about a half a pound of bacon. You can use more if you want, or less. I've done this with ham. I've done this with sausage. I really like the sausage ones. I just prefer breakfast sausage. But bacon's a great option too.
Can't go wrong with bacon ever.
It gives it a nice texture because it's so crunchy.
Yeah.
So once that's whisked, there's butter next to that bowl. We're gonna mix 4 tablespoons of cold butter into our flour mixture.
It's about half this.
About half that. So what I would do is cut it in half. Perfect. And then cut them into little nubs, little cubes.
Sure.
And then once this bacon is nice and caramelized and a lot of the fat has rendered out, we're going to then caramelize onions. In there, I've got about 1 medium onion. We'll caramelize those until they get really nice and sweet and brown.
Just mix this with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Break it all up.
Yeah, so what I do is I grab a little piece of butter and then rub it into the flour. Because what you're doing right now is coating the flour, the little granules of flour, with oil, so that water doesn't get into it as much, and so it doesn't develop gluten.
That bacon smells so good already.
Ooh, you could do a Denver omelet version of this too, with ham and red peppers and green peppers.
That made my mouth water. Or it's just the smell of the bacon, but it could be just a combination of everything. Like I said, I don't eat breakfast, and I haven't eaten breakfast, so this is gonna be perfect for me.
I mean, you look utterly famished.
Thank you. I've been working
out. You
out.
look so skinny.
What I do is I'm on the special diet where I wait until I'm almost ready to pass out, and then I have a little bit of butter and maybe a piece of bread.
I just throw butter and flour in my mouth and I swish it around until it's bread.
With a little bit of water? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How's that look? I don't really feel any butter.
That looks good. It looks like... Yeah, that looks good actually. All right. So perfect. So now we'll wait for this, we'll caramelize some onions, and then we'll put it all together.
Cool.
Okay, this looks pretty great. We've got our bacon nicely crumbled here. It's nice and firm and crispy, and our onions are nicely caramelized. So I'm gonna turn off the heat. We're gonna go ahead and add in the bacon. And then I've got a 1.5 cups of cheese.
Just throw that in there?
Yep. Go ahead and toss that around a little bit to get the cheese coated in a little bit of flour.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this in, so just watch your fingers. Ooh. So we can go ahead and mix that through, just coat everything nicely.
Bacon, onions, cheese.
It smells so good.
Butter, my favorite things.
It's like a breakfast sandwich already.
And you can hear the bacon crunches.
Start to pour a little bit in there. We just want to pour just a little bit, throw in a third at a time. A little bit at a time until it starts to come together to form a shaggy dough. So go ahead and pour a little bit more. Perfect. So once it starts to hold together, if you squeeze it together, it starts to hold. So
It
we're
almost
good.
looks like potatoes.
Oh yeah, it totally does. So we are good right now. We don't want to overmix it, so that's fine. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab some flour, and we're gonna put this out on a baking tray.
Cool.
So make it into a big ball, and then put it right here. And then we're gonna mush this down.
Can't forget the big part of all of it.
Because this is our mold for our scones. We're gonna make triangle scones. We're gonna brush this with some more cream.
Oh, cool.
Go ahead and brush that. This is gonna help to make it nice and golden on top. And you can add more cheese on top. I like to have a nice crispy top, so I don't typically add more cheese on top, but you can if you want to. And then what we're gonna do is cut these into triangles. So I like to use a serrated knife because that bacon will need to be cut through. These are a nice size too. And if you make this at the beginning of this week, that means you're gonna have enough for the entire week. Perfect. So we're gonna get these in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, just until they turn really nice and golden brown and they've puffed up, and they'll be perfect. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, Joey, these look amazing. You ready to taste?
I've been ready to taste, honestly.
Let's go. It's got like a big piece of bacon.
So did I. That was like the first thing I bit into.
So good. It's like one of those McDonald's bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, but like you're not gonna crumble it all over your car.
And it's not going to drip grease on you either.
Exactly.
And yeah.
Well, Joey, you saw how easy these were to make. Hopefully, you'll make these at home.
Most likely, yeah.
Well, good.
Like, most definitely, honestly. I'm trying to be, like,
More responsible.
subtle about this, but yeah. I need some improvements in my, like, eating habits. Breakfast, this makes it easy, because you said you can freeze them.
Yeah, you can freeze them and then just take them out one by one. Just throw them in the microwave for like 30 to a minute, and you should be pretty good to go.
Nice.
Well, it was wonderful having you on this side rather than behind the camera.
It was a new experience, but honestly, I finally made it onto your show. It's been a bucket list item of mine
Kick that bucket.
for a minute. Yep, now I can die happy. And full.
Yes, in full. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us in the kitchen. Thank you, Joey, for being here.
My pleasure.
And please like, share, and subscribe, and make these because these are delicious. But we'll see you here next time on another Jake Bakes. I'm gonna go ahead and eat all of this now. God bless it. These are so good. You know, I make some things sometimes, and I'm like, this will be all right. And then I eat it, and I'm like,
Better than all right?
I'm amazing.
You are. You are.
Oh my God.
God, that was good.